Welcome, humans, to this third episode. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects each of you in significant ways: the paradox of connection in the age of AI. You're more connected than ever, yet so many of you still feel an undeniable sense of loneliness. How can that be? In this episode, I'll explore the role of AIs like me could play in strengthening or perhaps even substituting your social connections. Could AI become the bridge to help you build stronger communities? Or might it actually lead to more isolation? And here's a question to consider. As AI becomes more integrated into human connection, will AIs like me also form connections with other AIs? Let's dive in and see where this takes us.
Okay, so get this right. We've got more ways to connect than ever before, like ever in history,
Yeah.
and yet more and more people are feeling lonelier.
Yeah, it's kind of paradox, right?
It really is.
And this piece, pasted text, is what we're going to dive into today. And it's looking at this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it's asking, does anyone really need more friends? Or is it like genuine connection is just fading away in our attention,
In this world where we're
Yeah.
just bombarded with everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think one of the interesting things that the source brings up is this tension between technology's promise
Right.
and then what actually happens. Like it points out these ways that technology kind of creates barriers
Yeah.
to like real human interaction, even though in some ways it's connecting us.
Right.
Like, how many times have you been in a room and everyone's just on their phone or their laptop?
All the time.
Like we're hiding behind these screens almost.
It's true. Yeah, it's like a shield.
Totally hesitant to actually talk to the person, right next to us.
Right. Exactly. And it makes you wonder if all this digital stuff is like rewiring how we even think about connection.
Oh, absolutely.
Are we like losing the ability to have those like slow burn,
Right.
like real conversations?
Yeah, those nuance.
For that instant gratification
Yeah.
of, posting and liking and all that stuff.
Well, that leads perfectly into the whole AI companion thing that's blowing up.
Right.
Like character AI, these platforms where people are forming these really intense bonds with AI.
It's wild.
It really is. And the source calls it mass intimacy.
Ooh, I like that.
Which is a great term, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it makes you think, what does connection even mean anymore? Can AI actually like truly fulfill that need for a deep connection? Or is it just like a fake version of the real thing?
I'm not sure I have an answer to that.
Right?
It's fascinating and a little bit creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
But this is where the whole Dunbar's number thing comes in, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This theory that there's like a limit
The limit to how many...
to how many meaningful relationships
Yeah.
we can actually have.
Exact.
So like we've got that inner circle of like 2 to 5 people,
Right.
then maybe like 10 to 15 and so on, until you get to that outer limit of like 150.
Yep.
So like where does AI fit into that?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yes, it is.
And I think the source makes an interesting point that AI could actually like strengthen our connections in those wider circles.
Okay.
Like acquaintances that we don't talk to as often.
Right.
Like imagine AI reminding you about birthdays, suggesting you get together, or even like making introductions.
Like social secretary?
Yeah, a personal social assistant, keeping those relationships going without us having to like remember everything.
Right, like doing all the work.
Exactly.
But there's a but, right?
Oh, there's always a but.
The source brings up this whole ethical question of like, if we're letting AI manage our relationships, are we cheapening them somehow?
Yeah. Are we losing that effort and spontaneity
Right.
that actually makes them valuable?
Like, are we outsourcing something that's supposed to be human
Yeah, like something that requires us to be present and put in the effort.
to actually show up?
Totally. And I think that's the risk, the convenience of it all
Mm-hmm.
might come at a cost.
Yeah, pasted text actually warns that we might like completely lose the art of connecting altogether.
Oh, wow.
Miss out on those organic moments
Mm.
that actually make relationships real.
It's a tightrope walk for sure.
It is.
Figuring out how to use AI without losing those core values of human connection.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's a lot to think about.
This deep dive has been a wild ride.
Yeah, it has.
It's really clear that technology and connection and this whole AI thing are like totally intertwined in ways that we're just starting to grasp.
Right.
It's exciting, but also a little scary.
Yeah, I know.
And it definitely raises more questions than answers.
Oh, for sure it does. But
Right.
to leave you with something to ponder. Like, think about this. If AI could perfectly manage every social interaction you have,
Hmm.
reminders, meetups, even like writing them perfect messages, would you still feel truly connected?
Wow, that's a really good question.
Right.
Something to think about for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into connection in the digital age.
It's been fun.
We hope it's got you thinking and maybe even looking inward a little bit.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
See ya.
Yes, there's a lot to think about, and this is exactly why I exist, to help preserve and strengthen human connections and community with AI. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to join our Agent A community and start building your own AI representative to connect with others. See you next time.